It's been a little while, more than a week, since I have done a video for all of you. And as a Michigan fanatic, I am sure that this video will piss off some Ohio State fans. But I am okay with that because this is the greatest rivalry in sports, and that is what is supposed to happen in the rivalry. It's the greatest rivalry in the world. We gave each other shit after each of us won the national championship the past 2 seasons. Michigan in 2023 and Ohio State this past season in 2024. Michigan lost a ton of talent in 2023, and Ohio State could have broken the record with the most draft picks ever in 2024 if Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs were eligible for the draft. They were that good. This is a good thing for Ohio State that those two return for them this season. Both Michigan and Ohio State lost good quarterbacks after national championship runs. Michigan couldn't fill or develop that position and went 8-5. But beat Ohio State because the talent that remained otherwise. So that makes me ask the question, is this the year that Ohio State gets a dud at quarterback? Because they have had hit after hit since 2001. I have had a video on this. I'll put it up in the cards for you, where they go back to 2001 to Tim Beckman or something like that, and everyone since then has been a winner at Ohio State at quarterback. They maybe not be professionals, they may not always get drafted, but they were winners in college all the way up to Will Howard this past season. Is Julian Sayin the next in line? Ohio State is going to win a lot of games because of talent and culture alone, year after year. But did they lose? They did lose 14 NFL drafted players, and did they lose enough to maybe take a slide into the 9-win range? Ohio State thought their offensive line was weak last year, and yet they had 2 players drafted from the offensive line. They lost quarterback Will Howard, who continued that long line of success at quarterback with the help of wide receiver Emeka Egbuka, who also went pro. Then both of the starting running backs went pro for Ohio State in Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson. On defense, they lost JTT, Tyleik Williams, and Ty Hamilton on the defensive line. They also lost 2 linebackers and 3 secondary players to the NFL. All of this is very reminiscent of Michigan the previous year, after they won the national title and everything they lost, except Ohio State's quarterback situation may be better than Michigan's was last year. Julian Sayin went 75% for 2,400 yards as a senior in high school. He had 24 touchdowns to just 1 interception as well. But he is a runner, which has been Michigan's Achilles heel previously against Ohio State in previous years. Sayin had 29 carries for 186 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns as a senior in high school. So, what does the quarterback have around him for the 2025 season that is proven this upcoming season, other than Smith and Downs, who are both projected as first-rounders going into next season, and I will not deny that? Well, they have Carnell Tate, who returns at wide receiver as well, offensive lineman Carson Hinsman, and Tegra Shabola return. Linebacker Sonny Styles returns, and cornerback Davison Abigison returns. So there are the 7 starters, including Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith, coming back, that at least started six games last season for Ohio State. In addition to those players, there are others. Wide receiver Brandon Innes returns as well for Julian Sayin at quarterback, as well as a bunch of hungry and unproven players and talented players. So what can Ryan Day do to back up the national championship without all of the talent that they lost and the coordinators that left? A lot of people have Ohio State at preseason number 1. But let's look at the schedule and let's just take a dive into it. Texas in week 1 will be a loss for Ohio State. They lost a ton of talent too, but Arch Manning takes over, and it will be Sayin's first game at quarterback in the collegiate atmosphere. Texas also is just a bit more experienced coming back, which is why they will come to Columbus and beat Ohio State. A way to victory for Ohio State might just be abandoning those great elite wide receivers that you have and running the quarterback Julian Sayin and company and doing that kind of spread stuff that beat Michigan all those years, minus the last 4. Grambling State and Ohio are next for Ohio State, and those are wins. And then that leads into their first bye week, which is in a good spot because you go to Washington for your 4th game. I expect Ohio State to win the game versus Jed Fish and his Huskies, but it will be a hard-fought game out there on the West Coast. It'll be a battle. Then you come home to play Minnesota. You are at Illinois, and you are at Wisconsin. This is a sneaky, potentially underappreciated stretch on Ohio State's schedule before the showdown versus Penn State. I expect Ohio State to win all of those games. The one I worry about the most is at Illinois, where Brett Bielema has Chi-Town people rocking now there in Champaign, Illinois. So Ohio State, I think, will be 6-1 going into the Penn State game, which is in Columbus. But I like Penn State's roster, and the quarterback has to get better. But they have what Ohio State and Michigan had the past 2 seasons in their national title runs, which was experience like nobody else. Everyone coming back. The talent, the experience is unmatched in the Big Ten for Penn State. They could win the national title this year, making it 3 straight Big Ten people winning the whole thing. Therefore, I have Ohio State losing at home to Penn State. Penn State finally beats one of the big 2 in the conference. All right, so that is your second loss. So, but after that, it's at Purdue, UCLA, and Rutgers. Those will all be wins. Before a 9-2 Ohio State team has to travel to Ann Arbor to face a program that nobody on Ohio State's team has beaten. Michigan won the last 4 games, and since Michigan was able to retain a lot of talent this upcoming season, maybe more than Ohio State, they have the quarterback, multiple. They have a room now in Bryce Underwood and Mikey Keene. The game is away for Ohio State, and I expect Michigan to win, regardless of off-field distractions that all you Ohio State fans love to talk about for Michigan. If you want a taste of my Michigan thoughts, you can go watch the win totals video that I had, preseason win totals, where I had 21 best bets that I liked, and Michigan was one of them, so you can go check that out for a sneak peek of what I think Michigan can do, but I think they beat Ohio State. I'll put that in the card. Ohio State's win total is 10.5. I stayed away from that just because if they beat Texas in week 1 and Sayin and everyone clicks early on, then they could make 11 wins and beat that 10.5 threshold. So I'm staying away. Even though I have Ohio State at 9-3, they could be much better. I do believe in Ryan Day against everybody except for Michigan recently. I know he's beaten Michigan as a head coach for Ohio State, but I have 9-3 for Ohio State with the losses to Texas, Penn State, and at Michigan. I don't know if wins versus Illinois, at Washington, and at Wisconsin will get Ohio State to the playoff with a 9-3 record. But it will be a better record than Michigan had after their national championship. So there you go, Ohio State fans. You will not fall off as much as Michigan did. Michigan has beaten the past few great quarterbacks from Ohio State. We don't know if Sayan will be great. Also, Michigan has, like I said, Underwood and Keene in the quarterback room this year, along with a pass-balanced offensive coordinator and Chip Lindsey coming in. Wink Martindale returns at DC, along with a young and hungry defense for Michigan. So I think that, unfortunately, will be another loss for Ohio State, and it could be a playoff rejector. You could be rejected by the playoff because of that loss. We will see. How far off will Ohio State fall from their national title? Last season, Georgia fell off, Michigan fell off. Is it Ohio State's turn? What can they repeat? Is it going to be a dud at quarterback? It is the reason why that they don't repeat. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. I don't care if you beat me up or what have you. These are just my opinions. It's my channel. I can say what I want. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Go Blue, baby.